What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. I've never really dabbled too much in terms of reaction content on this channel, and that's because I don't know if there's much of an audience for it. But I wanted to take a trip down memory lane today, and I wanted to rewatch my first ever 450 Supercross win here in MX Bikes. This was back in 2022. This was before Region Lock. This was way back in Beta 17. And we'll get more into it as the race progresses. But just looking at some of these names here for people that qualified for this, you got Jack, who was an OG, you got Reese here. I remember a period of time where Jack, Reese and myself were on the Great Britain MX of Nations team, and we used to all live about 20 minutes apart from each other. We've got Aiden as well, who obviously makes all the NSP tracks these days. Dad Shoes being an OG, McChicken being an OG as well. We got names that I've not seen in years, like Lemunion. I see Dirty N still every now and then. Haven't seen Moreno in a very long time. Same with Fafalito. Wills is still about. He goes under the name Austin these days. And Barbosa, one of the Brazilians as well. He made his way over to MX Simulator as of recent years. So it's just really cool seeing all these OG names again. And let me just quickly fast forward here to the gate drop. Now, this might look a bit weird, this stream. Sole reason being, let me turn myself right down as well until the end. The reason this might look a bit odd is I have no face cam back here. There's nothing. So, very interesting. I was on the Mook Creations Husky here, and first thing you notice as we rewind this, sorry, 1 second before the gate drops, I just thought this was very important for people to take note of back in the day. I see a Suzuki, I see KTMs, I see Husky, I see Honda, and these aren't model swaps. This is before the game got extra sweaty and try-hard and there had to be a meta. So it's nice to see. And this is Aerial gear itself. So Stone Rider, who made the Aerial brand, he also made gear back in the day, and I was running that alongside the Mook Creation stuff. And it really does bring back some good memories. And some of you guys will have no idea what this game used to play like back in 2022. This might be your first time seeing it. The biggest thing that I think you will see is how slow the gameplay is. Not necessarily so much in terms of the talent was less, because we'll get into that a little bit later as well. But the bikes were so much less capable than the current OEM bikes we have. And as I said earlier, this was Beta 17.
That was a terrible start.
This one here. I just said this was a terrible start, and I'm almost about to crank a whole shot. We're only a couple positions deep. Look how respectful everybody is off the start as well. Nobody's sending it fifth whipped into turn one and praying that they get through clean. So this was Beta 17.
Oh, that's quite lucky.
This is round 4 of this championship here. This is at Anaheim 2. And this was the last round before we got another game update that actually broke the traction. And it made it to the point where even on a 450, you could be third gear quarter throttle and you would still be lighting the back end up. Traction ceased to exist after this round for the rest of the year. And I think that's kind of why the rest of this season went my way. Oh, getting very unlucky there with Beast. Very unlucky indeed before the sand section, losing a few positions. And Aiden and the K-Bell bikes always look so cool. I think he's on a TM there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's a Yami, I think it's a TM. So that corner you just saw there, that left-hander before the finish line, when the traction updated, it was almost undoable, like almost unclearable, and you see how small it is. You can see how slow we're getting through the whoops as well, because the bike's back wheels would be spinning as you hit each whoop, so you'd lose more and more momentum, so the run through the whoops is really important. And to me, this could just be nostalgia bias, and obviously because I used to perform better back then than I do now, I think the game was so much better back then than it is these days. You also saw Hurls just ride past me, and this was pre-snorting G Fuel before every race, Hurls. This was the last year before he really popped off, and I'll play spoilers to you now. Hurls actually comes second in this race and is very close to beating me. There's people here, I have no idea who FTY is. I don't even remember that name from back in the day, so no idea what he's doing now. And I kind of like looking back at old pictures and old videos now and then and just wondering what people are up to in their lives these days. Obviously, I'm still in the same place, sitting playing the same damn game almost every single day, but people have gone on and they're living their lives now, so it's really cool to see. I didn't realise how down bad I was at the start of this. I'm in 9th place right now, or hooking off to the left-hand side. And the thing about these bikes is the front ends were nowhere near as... Oh my Christ, I think I just saw a McChicken red ping. I'm raging in the background, that was chicken. How do I come back to win this race? This is abysmal so far. I also can't see, it's just by my face cam up here. There's just under 400 people watching this, which is insane for back then as well. I think the community, in terms of active players, was probably only like 2,000 players maximum at a time. So to have a quarter of that watching round 4 of a Supercross was pretty insane work, really. But yeah, going back to it, this was my first ever 450 Supercross win. And over the course of this entire season, there were 17 rounds. I won 12 out of 17 races, and I got top 2 in 16 out of 17 races. And the only one that I didn't get top 2 in was round 2, where I got 17 points, it says on the championship standings. So whatever position 17 points is, I actually don't know. You guys can let me know down below. That would be much appreciated. And since I wrote down the stat real quick, I went through the championships and added it all up. So since I won this race, the total amount of 450 Supercross wins I won across EU and NA, because back in the day you were allowed to do both, and I did dabble in NA races on the nights where I wasn't too tired to stay awake. I won 24 450 Supercross races in total, which feels a lot higher than I remember it being, especially since as of the last 2 years I think I've won 2 races. So it's kind of crazy that I won them all in such a short period of time. But let's go back to the competition level conversation. So the community was a lot smaller, which obviously means there's not as many really fast people that would play. And I don't know if I'm out of place in saying this, but I feel like I was one of the very first people to really start sweating and try hard in this game. Like, I put a lot of time into it back then, and I feel like it's commonplace now. That's just the done thing, but I don't think that was the case before I started doing it. I feel people like Jack as well was also a bit of a culprit for that. He would always grind hot laps in testing, but I just put in so many hours, like so many hours, and it obviously paid off back then. The OEM bikes being worse here does bring up an interesting topic of conversation, I suppose, in that I would actually like to see the current OEM bikes be worse, and by worse I mean just a little bit slower, but then also not as bulletproof. So you are penalised basically for over jumping or casing things. You can't blitz whoops, absolutely 5th gear pins the entire way with no issues whatsoever. I'd just like there to need to be a little bit more precision than there is on the game these days. It's also quite interesting seeing that controller overlay below me. I don't know what happened to that overlay, because obviously nowadays I just run the standard white and red PS4 overlay that comes up through the website. I'll have to try and find a way of making one again, because that's quite cool. It's a little bit of a personal detail there. I'm also looking up at like my banners at the top and behind my face that you can't see. I've got that top donator in Trent Zeeley as well, and I just wonder what these people are doing nowadays, because they're people I just do not see around anymore. And I know people come and go and their interests changes over time, but it is a shame to see old faces no longer around. Oh, there's a clip on this section in particular, I think, of Marco absolutely yeeting over this berm that people always post to joke now and then as well.
Hopefully, I'll make my life easy. Just make.
I've noticed it. So it seems like in these 180 bowl turns, you just can't. I don't know if it's because obviously stability has changed these days. People tend to run a lot more sensitive setups where they can get the bike cranked over more.
That's right. I've got some breathing room behind as well, which is nice.
But it doesn't look like I'm getting the bike lent over much whatsoever. Now, I don't know if that is a setting thing from back then, or if it was just because the way the bike's handled, if the front ends would go. So I saw a gas there as well, the Munyon was on, so I've seen, what, like 5 different bike brands in this main event, which would be unheard of these days. I absolutely love it so much. And I think it's just because it's not as serious back then as it is these days. Like, people can just have a good time on it, and it's not like everybody doesn't hate each other, and of course no no you-know-what allegations that is at large these days as well,
Got to remember as well,
which
I
is
do
also
have a
always
second
lovely
cut,
to not have
so
that kind of
if it
stress
gets really
going on
close
as
with
well.
someone at the end, I do have to charge
But
to try and, gap them by a
430
second
people
before the finish.
watching me in this main event right now. It's actually crazy work. Really, really is. And I'm probably being fully nostalgia baited with how much I enjoyed the racing back then. But it was such a fun time. I remember towards the back end of this season, because I had such a big points lead, I won something like 8 races in a
Just give it
row.
look, see if anyone's messing up the
One of the
wheels.
rounds I decided to rock up on the Alta, which
Feel
if
like
anybody
there's always
remembers the
yellow
Alta
flags
and
if
ever
you
had the chance to
crash
ride it,
understand.
it
Maybe
was
they just don't
worse
know how
than the
fast someone's
current
going, so if they get
Alta
squirrely
is
by the
in-game.
end,
It was
just,
so
get
slow.
them going.
So painfully slow. And somehow, I managed to win on it. And I think the sole reason was the track that Stoney had made that week. The scaling on it was like really strange to the point where even on 450s you could only really double your way around the track. There wasn't any big rhythms at all. And I think that saved me, because if there was big rhythms, the Alta wouldn't have been able to make it around at all. So we're coming up to near the halfway mark here. I think that's Dad Shoes in P1 right now, the number 15. They used to be on a team called Big Bark, I think it was. And he's 4 seconds ahead. Oh, never mind, he's 1.4 seconds ahead of Hurls. So Hurls closing up on him in a hurry. And I want you to pay attention. I don't know if there'll be too many really obvious moments that you'll see it here, but even on the takeoff of some of the Supercross triples, for example, if you're turning a little bit too much, the handlebars would just knife or go really, really loose and wobbly. So it's crazy how much the OEM bike's hill physics have improved as well. It's just, it's insane seeing how slow the gameplay is. And but that's the weird thing as well, is the gameplay looks so much slower, but at the same time it was that much more difficult to stay consistent as well. I remember that being really my strong suit back at this time, was really being able to keep it up on 2 wheels with just not too many mistakes of my own. It looks like in this race the only real mistakes I've seen have been me getting unlucky, getting caught up with other people. And I might be mistaken here actually, this could be before the erode system got revamped by Poboso. So what you might be seeing here, as we come up to, I think that's our first lapper, W lapper, staying out of the way, you'll notice the erode isn't really digging down into one rut as much. It's more spread out, so it doesn't dig down into like a V-shaped groove. It's like, if this was the surface Le Dirt, it kind of all just goes down a bit. So there wasn't really anything for you to get your tyres slotted into. You was just, I don't know, a lot of it was just speedway for the most part. And this was before any pre-made Supercross erode as well. But it wasn't an issue back here really, because the game was nowhere near as fast. See Moto Patrol there, that's someone I haven't seen for quite a long time as well. Trying to see if I recognise many of the names in chat that's popping up on the right hand, or just underneath my head. And I'm really embarrassed to say, I don't. That's what I mean, there's so many people here that I've not seen in a very, very, very long time. Although some things don't change. I am reading people being quite toxic in chat to each other. I see Martian there. That's a, oh god, I haven't seen Martian in a really long time either. It's actually this bit sad actually. I'm down in the dumps now. I'm in my feels about missing all these people. Got Dad Shoes going down there at the end of the whoops, and you'll see that the weird thing is I could probably load up this Supercross track now today. I could go and re-download it.
Is that Hells? That is Hells.
I guarantee I would overjump everything and the whoops would feel like they almost weren't there. So I've just taken over the lead from Hells there, and we have just under 9 minutes plus a lap left to go. And if my memory serves me right, I think I might stay in the lead the entire time. There's a wild Mr. Leander that I see in the chat there that's just scrolled past as well.
God, this sound's getting a bit.
He doesn't look like he was happy with me. It looks like I was blaming him for some sort of lapper issue, which does sound like me. If you guys think that I moan a lot in my races these days, I used to get so triggered at bad lappers. They used to make me fume really, really badly. I see Stone Riders in the chat as well, just under the name Ariel. I don't even remember that ever happening. It is crazy work. I almost feel like I would love... This probably doesn't apply to everybody. because where I am Unk status these days, and majority of you wouldn't have had a chance to play.
mean,
Look how wonky,
probably
how
wrong
wonky
sense,
that
but
was.
it's
It was just such a small mistake, and the bike just
Plenty of
wobbling
cars
side to
on
side
track
for
is
so
fine,
long
but-
until it comes back straight again. People would get so annoyed with them physics these days as well.
Just look behind for a
But
second
I
and
would
see
love
if
to
I was
hop
around
into a
as
time
well.
machine and
Instantly
rewind
mistakes, I need to stop
a
doing
handful
that.
of years. Not go too far back, but enough. There's a certain period. The weird thing is, COVID.
Oh God, someone down
Are you allowed to say that word on YouTube anymore? There used to be a time where you'd get demonetized for saying it. But the Big C, for me,
God, these two are getting into a rough
was
one
actually
as well, isn't it?
a pretty damn good time
I pray
in
that
my
it
life.
is.
Because I got to work from home in my normal day job. I was
thank you
busting
very
out
much.
2 YouTube videos per day.
Tim?
Every single video was getting a minimum of 10,000 plus views. I just started seeing Linda at the same time as well, and life was just going pretty damn good. It really, really was. That's before all the hair started falling out as well. And I had to look in the mirror earlier, I'm starting to go grey at the same time, so as if the receding wasn't bad enough, it's also changing colour, which is never good. Who have we got here in front of us? We've got a Hearty Boy in front of us, so I do remember us riding around him in the opening laps. So he's going down a little bit there. But you even saw, as I overjumped that Supercross triple slightly, the front end just goes so wobbly. I'm trying to watch my sticking inputs in these corners to see if I'm leaning over much at all. Or if it is... Yeah, that was all the way to the left at one point there. So it could just be stiff turning settings. I do remember I used to run
Jesus
quite a
Christ,
low
it's
gain.
gnarly.
It was either like low 90s or high 80s. And most people run like mid 90s to into the, some people run into the hundreds these days. And I think it's mostly just to try and keep up. If you
Please don't
have
hit the track,
really
please.
slow
Oh,
steering settings, W lapper again, by the way, he was aware and didn't just pull out straight away. Again, couldn't happen these days. Oh, it's just such a simpler time. Such a simpler time. And I think when it comes to some of the lappers in here, I haven't seen a bad one yet. I think most of the reason was because it wasn't quite as competitive and the field
Jams are
wasn't
big, we have
as
a clever.
deep. We see Jams as well. I forgot
you,
Jams
sir.
has
I
been
love you
around
so
for that long. Holy. Damn. That's crazy work. Jams must have been playing this game since he was about 12 then at this rate. Jesus, he's been around ages. I see TKO Smokey in the chat there as well.
That's right,
And I
there's
saw
his
Sorrow in there
I
also.
can see him.
Sorrow,
about the
the
same distance
oldest mod of the channel. I also see produced by Jonathan. There's a few names in here that I recognise. That's really, really cool. Apparently Smokey's come back to the game recently,
Bench is
apparently.
down as well. Okay.
See him posting
Oh, but Hells is right.
one or two Instagram reels that
Hells
come
actually
across
pretty good.
my
He's
feed.
closer, but he's got more cuts.
Forgot what I was waffling about now before I went a little bit off tangent when I saw Smokey's name. Right, what are we at? We're 13 laps deep.
Yeah, he's actually.
Just looking at my lap times really, and I think because the road didn't change too much about the track back then, the lap times didn't change much as well. You could run lap times that were within the same second from start to finish if you was consistent and good enough. See something in there called Alpha Bravo 2, and I don't know if that's the alpha that is basically modding every single Discord chat these days. Slab as well. I've not seen Slab in a really, really long time. There's Mr. Barbosa, one of the Brazilian men who has gone the way of MX Simulator as of the last few years. Try and go around the outside of him. Nice, it was clean. See, even the sand wasn't getting too beaten up. This might have been the era, actually, where...
Well, no, it did slow me down, so Hells is going.
Oh, maybe that was beta 16. There was a period of time on this game where sand had more grip than the rest of the soils. The lap times that people used to do around the 2013 Lommel were absolutely disgusting. Like, so fast. Can't do that so much anymore. As soon as you get onto the side of the tyre, you know it's pretty much game over. That last lap I completed, lap 14, my middle sector was faster than my best lap. So again, it shows the potential that you have to go fast all the way to the end of these races. I'm quite happy watching this back though. There's a good level of consistency there. I'm keeping an eye on the timing and the map as well, because apparently Hells is 3.5 seconds behind me. Again, double you lappers. I think that was that Draco or Draco?
Not sure what the line is.
You're getting out of the way for me there.
If there is,
Got some more lappers come up to as well. We'll see if it carries on. Got Wheels as well, Mr. Austin. And we got... oh, was Wills on Motomart back then as well? No, he wasn't. I don't... Does anyone on Motomart still play as well? That's a name that I've not seen game for a really long time.
For a third time this race, what do you reckon?
He's trying to get out of the way there. He's hugging the inside. They probably didn't realise that I was going inside as well. Oh, you see it? Just slow hill physics up and over the wall jump, getting sketchy. That's enabled Hurls to catch right back in. This... I think this was also the period of time as well where if you got too many cuts, you actually got disqualified from the race. You get ejected like automatically from the server. When I say how many cuts, it's not in terms of the amount of time, it's how many instances of cuts. So if you got 10 seconds of cuts in one lap, you'd be fine. But if you got 1 second of cuts 10 different times, you would get disqualified for it. And that did happen in 1 or 2 of these races. I can't remember the exact track, but it was this year, and it was on the track where it was one of them outdoorsy styles ones. And Hunter Lawrence in real life sent this jump on press day, absolutely wadded himself, and they ended up changing it for the actual race day. And I can't remember for the life of me what location it was, but it was this year. And I remember the cuts being quite bad around there and a few people getting disqualified before the race was done. And that was actually the track, I think, where I wrapped it all up. But it might have been the very last round of the season, actually. So I might have wrapped it up prior to then. And then that was like my victory ride, for example. Either way, I'm going to have to go back and play these 2022 tracks at some point just to see how much the tracks have changed. And we've got a good reference point. So we've got these streams to go back and watch, can view the qualifying times on MyMXB and all that good stuff, and then put it to the test and see what the bigger bikes can do now. Corners like that actually look quite fast. Like the grip on the flat corners looks pretty damn good here. Again, this was the last grippy race before Beta 17 completely boofed the traction. But they look a lot slower in a straight line. So it'll be interesting to see what the newer OEM bikes can do in comparison, really. So there's 30 seconds plus 1 to go. I'm wondering... No, I'm not going to get to the finish line in time looking at my lap times currently. So there should be 1 lap to go after this. It's currently 2.8 seconds up. I am going to turn the volume of this up so you can hear me and also hear the bike at the same time.
Oh, we're jumping a bit far.
See if I get nervous at all. Making some mistakes. The pressure of Hurls is getting to him. Again, this is before Hurls became an absolute animal. The year after this is where Hurls basically done what I done in this year, where he won almost every single race. There we go. Right, last lap flag is out. You can tell when I go quiet in races while streaming, I'm really, really locked in. A little bit sketchy through the whoops. Hurls is only 2.6 seconds down now. Dadshu's still in 3rd, Aiden's in 4th. I don't think I have access to that like banner at the top anymore that shows subscribers and things like that, which is a shame because I actually really like the layout of it. I like the colours that are used, it looks good. 505 people were watching at this point as well for me to get my first ever 450 Supercross win. I'd be very curious to know how many of them 500 people are still hanging around and still watching the channel.
Oh, thank you so much. I love this man.
W Lapper. FTY getting out of the way.
Boys. Don't tuck it, don't tuck it. Oh,
there we go.
Boys, we got our first ever 450 win. Holy fuck.
I see a Sid Putnam in the chat as well. Shout out, Sid.
Jesus Christ. This man has not been off of my arsehole this entire race. Oh,
yeah, shout out Hurls, by the way. I miss Hurls as well, but I hope he's doing well. Enjoying real life rather than video games.
I don't even know what everyone's arguing about in chat, but I couldn't give a shit. That was a really good race. Oh my lord. That
Hemi in chat as well. Don't see Hemi too much anymore.
Jack retired. Jack had
see
some
Ethan Dean as well. No. What a time. I'm sorry for the
There we
people
go.
that didn't get
Hands
to
on working.
experience the game
What the
back here.
dog doing?
Well,
Yeah, what a fun trip down memory lane there. I really did like watching that. We might have to do this on stream at some point, just go and watch the 2022 season, because it's by far my most favourite time and best memories of ever playing this game. One day, we might be able to get back there. One day. Who knows? Maybe when MTG comes out, like, let's say, worst case scenario, like the MX Bikes player base halves, I do think it might do the community some good to be thinned out slightly. Because at the moment, it's so competitive, and everything's just getting quicker and quicker and quicker. So it could do the game some good, slowing down a little bit and focusing on just trying to be smooth and consistent rather than sending quads all over the place. But there you go. And I see Aiden's in there as well. I think that's before... In fact, nobody knows. That Aiden Pryke, just below my face right now, that is MXB Aiden. That is YouTuber Aiden. I don't think he made videos back then. W. Oh, what a good time. What a good time. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I've certainly enjoyed watching it all back. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to react to at any point, really. I don't want to make this channel all react content now. I just thought that'd be a nice little one-off to go and watch my first ever 450 Supercross win. So drop a like if you enjoyed. It really does mean the most and helps the channel grow. Comment for the algorithm, all that good stuff. Help a boy out. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're up to. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.